Hey guys, it's the Archangel here. Now today we're reviewing the McFarlane Toys Deluxe Action Figure Survival Edition Daryl Dixon. For the life of me, I can't remember how tall this thing is, and I don't really have a tape measure. I think it's 10 inches, I'm not sure. Now, let's just get one thing clear. This is not an action figure. This is an action figure. It can pose. This is more of a statue. It's still good though, but I'm just getting that right off the bat. You can't class something as an action figure if it doesn't have much posability. As far as I'm concerned, it's a statue. Those who disagree, fine. You know, you have a right to disagree, and you know it's your opinion. But my opinion is this guy's a statue. So let's move Daryl out the way and just look at his accessories. It comes with a few, but some come together and form one big piece. You get a knife. My camera's not focusing. There we go. Very nice detail on this. Very nice. And this just slides in here. Doesn't actually do anything. You can't hold it in his hand. Next you have his crossbow. Now these arrows here just come out separate, but you plug them in and clip them in. Now this piece actually broke. Probably can see a little bit of shiny bit in there. That's actually glue. And nice looking crossbow, but just be warned, this thing is a pain in the ass to get on his hand, and this is useless basically. You can't. It's just there for detail. You can't loop it around his shoulder. And the final accessory, he comes with a poncho. All these figures can be put on. All these accessories can be put on the figure, but to get this one, you need to detach a piece. But before we do that, let's just take a look at this guy. Just give me a sec to move my thing back. I'm using my mini fridge, which is got 2 DVD stacks, and it's a Juggernog fridge. I pre-ordered Black Ops 3 because I'm a gaming dork. Let's look at his head. I mean, it's not really a sculpt. I'd call it a head sculpt, but it's from a 3D scan. Yeah, that looks like Norman Reedus. Alright, that looks like Norman Reedus. Very good likeness. Very nice. A lot of nice detail on this piece, actually. This feels like a McFarlane Movie Maniacs figure. It's a shame that this is actually bigger than a Movie Maniacs figure, I think. I'm not sure. If Movie Maniacs figures are this big, then cool, because I really want to hunt down the ones that they did from John Carpenter's The Thing. Still, turn to articulation. Yeah, this is the guy's weakest point. His head can rotate for a reason. His arms can move forward and back on the cut joint. And they're quite tight, actually. And his wrist rotates. His other one would swivel a little bit, but I snapped it off so I had to put it in place. Now, the reason why his head moves is because you actually have to pull it off completely to get the poncho on. And that just looks really, really strange. Still, give us a chance to look at the head. See, he's got all this hair lining. He's got very, very nice detail on the body overall. I mean, you got the raised parts with his these parts here actually raised, these angel wings. Okay, so to get the poncho on, it is pretty easy. Just let me push the camera back. The poncho is easy. Just sit it on. Then click on the head. The head is meant to detach. You are supposed to detach it to get this on. Like that. And his crossbow. I'm not looking forward to this. You have to really... Oh my god, to get this in his hand when I first bought it, it was such a pain. Let me just put that right off the bat. I'm going to try and get it here on camera. I mean, it should work. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to go off camera. Oh, I think we're getting some work. Yeah, we're getting some work. Because it was very hard when I first got it, we've got it in his hand. And now that I've done it once, in there. So, here we go. Just give me one quick second. Crossbow, there we go. I'm just going to prep another figure for the comparison, which you saw it a few minutes ago. It's blatantly obvious what it is. Here we go. Now, as a action figure, this is not really meant for for playing with. This is more meant to just be a display piece. Here it is. Here he is compared to his 5-inch counterpart. Now, this is the version that does come with a bike, and you can probably see metal pieces sticking out. Mine snaps out to pin his legs in. He still poses fine, but, you know. Well, actually, no, he can't because his feet are absolute garbage. And he just wants to fall over all the time. Come on. There we go. Let me just get his bike just to show you. I will review this guy afterwards eventually, even though the reviews are all that. Here's his bike. I do have the other piece for it. It's just over there on that chair somewhere. Right. Okay, so these two figures, as a comparison, now they do have strengths and weaknesses over each other's. His strength is articulation and a nice size. But his weakness is the fact that his accessories can be easily lost, and because he's smaller and his parts are a bit thinner, you could break him easily. His strengths are the fact that he is bigger, you're not going to lose as many pieces, and overall, because he's bigger, the detail level is increased. They both have good detail, do not get me wrong. He has fantastic detail, he has phenomenal detail. Like, his detail is... I've never seen such a figure with as good lightness as that. This one comes close, but this one is the ultimate champion for likenesses to Norman Reedus. His weaknesses are, again, some of the pits in the crossbow are quite thin, so they can break, much like this one. And his articulation, or, you know, his parts, we'll just call them parts, because I don't really think this guy is supposed to be articulated. He's more of a statue piece, so would I recommend him? Well, it depends on what you look for in a figure. If you want something to play with or to doss about and pose to your heart's content, go for the 5-inch figure. But if you want something with an incredible likeness, like a dead-on, crystal clear likeness to the actor, and also as a nice display piece, go with the deluxe one. Because this deluxe one is, I mean, I've ripped on its articulation, but to be quite frank, I'd say this is more of a collector's piece rather than a figure to play with. This is more of a statue. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's pretty cool, you know. But because of its size, you can definitely get a good sense of how much detail and work has been put into it by McFarlane Toys. I just don't like the fact that they call it a deluxe action figure, because an action figure is really a figure that can pose. I mean, they might have their reasons for it. They might think differently to me. But for me, when I see action figure, I think of something posable. This big guy here, I see more as a collector's monument or collector's statue. This will be the holy grail for Norman Reedus fans. Sort of. I mean, you want a real holy grail, maybe an actual life-size bust of his head. That would be really cool. But, you know, for now we have this, and this does an impeccable job of looking like Norman Reedus. I mean, come on. Just give me a sec to turn the camera somewhere better lighting. I mean, you can't get a better likeness than that. Just give me a sec to cut in. I'll put the flash on and you'll see what I mean. Right, so I've got the flash on so you can see this guy a bit better. And you can see it a lot better, actually. Look at all this. And surprisingly enough, a lot of this is turning up really well because of the flash. Look at his face. Look at that. That's just brilliant. Wait, does this guy have eyebrows? Surprising enough, he does. This is brilliant. I mean, look at that. Look at all the details on this. Like I said, this is more of a statue rather than an action figure. And there's no legal stuff on the feet. That's amazing. There's no legal stuff. Whereas this guy has it on his feet. This guy, I can't, for the life of me, I can't find it at all. I just cannot find it. And, you know, this figure, you want a good Norman Reedus figure, get this. I meant Daryl Dixon figure with Norman Reedus likeness. Because this, I mean, look at that head. It's turning up a bit brighter on camera just because of the flash. But, you know, the skin tone is correct, actually. It's just the camera flash is making him look a bit paler. I mean, his skin's about a bit darker than mine. But because of the camera flash, it's coming off very, you know, very whitish. But he's got a bit of dark in there. But yeah, I just did this little bit here to prove that this figure is great for the likeness of Norman Reedus, including the 5-inch one, but this one really nails it. At least in my opinion, you might think this looks nothing like Norman Reedus, but personally, in my eyes, this does look like Norman Reedus. Just another 360. You can see all the details, the angel wings and all that. His boots. But yeah, I'm going to give this guy a recommend as a statue and as a monument piece. I'm not recommending him as an action figure because, well, he can't really pose. But he does look nice on the shelf. He does look really good. This is a decent pose for him. I think McFarlane chose wise to put him in this pose. Because, I mean, the only pose I can think of him in is, which I can achieve the 5-inch one, is that. That's the only other pose I can think of, that they could put this guy in. This one is more or less perfect for Daryl Dixon. I keep wanting to call him Norman Reedus. I mean, Norman Reedus as Daryl Dixon, this is a perfect pose. Perfect. Also, there's sculpting behind there as well, which is nice. But yeah, please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.